Hello everyone and welcome back to Mad Exotics. I lied. I lied again, and I lied again. This is now, I think, the second week I haven't been able to put out this one video. This is the fourth time I've sat down to videotape it because I felt that the last one just wasn't good enough. So I'm gonna jump right into it. Today's video, or it should have been 2 weeks ago video, is actually going to be on the ethics of keeping snakes in tubs, or reptiles in tubs in general. And now, this is a very, very heated topic and a very heated debate, not only in the reptile hobby, but in the entire animal keeping hobby, the industry, I should say. It's talked about by, organizations like PETA and Humane Society as reasons that just more bullets in their gun of what we do is inhumane to the animal. And that we're only in it for the money, and that's a very unfortunate side of this hobby, is because even when you keep animals in a way that they, in my opinion, should be kept, a lot of them should be kept that way, you're going to be looked at as the bad guy, which is very unfortunate. In this hobby, we're looked at constantly as the bad guys, and I'm not entirely sure why. I think it's mainly because of the public perception of reptiles as a whole and the people who keep them. And that's very unfortunate, and so that's why I feel that this video today, is important. And I hope that it's not only me, a very small-time YouTuber and a very small business owner. Well, I'm not short, but like my business is small. So I feel that a lot bigger YouTubers should probably take this on, and I'm hoping that at least a couple do, because it is a major issue. I've been called out, let me think, I can't even count the number of times I've been called out on keeping my snakes in tubs. People saying, isn't it inhumane to do that? Isn't it kind of like being in a prison cell? And my answer to that is always no. There are a couple species of snakes I keep, like the Woma pythons, who do require a bigger enclosure because they move around and they roam a lot, and I've supplied them with a bigger enclosure. In fact, even when I'm going home, I'm getting an even bigger enclosure to put them in because I know they like to move around, and that they like to move around and hunt. So that's why I'm keeping them in a bigger enclosure than I am the ball pythons or the hognose snakes. But you also have to think about the ball pythons and the hognose snakes, where they're found, and what kind of troubles they could be finding in nature. Now, the ball python's initial instinct, when found by a predator, is its namesake. It balls up, puts its head in the center of a big, huge ball of fat, muscle, and snake, and tries to protect its head. And from what I've seen out in nature is that a lot of snakes, when you go out looking for snakes, you gotta flip stuff. You got your hook in this hand, or you're just using a hand, which, by the way, if you're out herping in the South or Australia or anywhere like that, don't use your hand to flip things, please. Okay, PSA over. No, but seriously, you usually gotta flip things over to find the snakes, right? But what does that tell you about what they like? They like to be up against a wall to where nothing can get to them except what they can see. They like to be able to see their world like this. Snakes, in my opinion, the snakes that I've seen, are naturally flighty and defensive animals. I have never come across a snake. Now, this isn't to say that there aren't snakes out there that are aggressive, but I have never come across a snake that's been aggressive. Sorry, I haven't. I've only come across snakes that literally are quick to want to defend themselves and defend their lives. And that's a trait you can find in any animal. You can find that in cats, you can find that in dogs, you can find that in hamsters, you can find that in rats, you can find it in anything. And that's a really, that's something that people are really quick to demonize snakes over, especially venomous snakes. Because you gotta think, a cat has its claws, and it can, put up the hair on its neck and growl and, hiss and make a lot of noise. But if you approach it any farther, it has its claws that it can, swat at you with. A dog can put up his hair, he can bark, he can growl, he can, show his teeth, right? A hamster, hamsters are jerks in my opinion, but a hamster will have a couple other threat displays before they, go for the attack, or they'll try to run and hide underneath something. A rat has a couple of threat displays as well, but usually they'll try to run and hide as well. A snake has like 1 or 2 threat displays aside from biting. And now a venomous snake, let's take rattlesnakes for example, they have a great system of stay back, stay back, stay back, waving their tail back and forth, making that really awesome rattle. But you gotta think about a python. My little ball pythons, I mean, like the biggest one I've got is almost 6 foot long, and that's pretty much as big as she's gonna get. They don't really have that rattle. They don't have a very hiss, right? They just have their teeth to defend themselves and then curling themselves up into a ball. That's why a lot of snakes come off as attacking or aggressive when really they're trying to preserve their own life. I've gone off on a complete tangent and I apologize for that. But anyways, back to the subject at hand. So do I think it's humane to keep snakes in tubs? Yes, and there's a good reason for that. I've given you a couple of good reasons, but I think my main reason for wanting to keep snakes in tubs, and I want to, it's not a matter of, oh, I can fit more snakes in so that I can breed more, so that I can make more money. It's nothing like that. The reason I keep my snakes in tubs, even snakes I don't breed I keep in tubs, is because I feel that they're more secure in it. I had a ball python in a glass enclosure with a hide and a water dish and substrate that she could get underneath it. She was stressed out, man. That was the only time that snake has bit me, was when she was in that. She's never bit me since, and maybe that's just because I've handled her more now, or maybe it is because she felt that she was exposed and that I was a big predator coming down on her. So, either way, I feel that they're more comfortable in a tub. I seriously do think they're more comfortable in a tub. Now, another reason is sanitation-wise. For all of you reptile keepers out there, 40-gallon breeder tanks, let's say you got a bearded dragon in a 40-gallon breeder tank. How easy is that to clean out? Not very. Generally, I'll take probably almost 10 minutes of my day cleaning out the bearded dragon tank. Yeah, or tanks, I should say plural, it's not just singular. Tanks. And that's because they've got these sharp angles on them that I can never get to, and it always frustrates me. And so when you think about that, and you put that in perspective of sanitation-wise, you're leaving some dirt behind. You're always going to leave dirt behind pretty much no matter what. But you're leaving some dirt behind, and maybe there's a bacteria in there or something like that, and the bearded dragon gets sick, or the snake gets sick. That's not good. I don't like my snake sick. I don't like any of my animals sick. I don't like my cat sick. I don't like my dead-young snake sick. I don't like my lizard sick. I don't like anything sick. But that generally can leave some stuff behind, and it might make the animal sick. Sorry about that. If they come into contact with it. And the plastic tubs totally blows that out of the water. You can take this tub that with the snake in it might weigh 10 pounds, plop the snake in a different tub or something while you're cleaning out this tub, take the tub, take the water dish out, and it now weighs like what, 2 pounds? Dump the substrate into a garbage can, go over to, in my case, a bathtub, take some water, take some cleaner, get it all nice and clean, friggin' store-bought, brand new clean, put it back in the rack, put the substrate back in, put the clean dish back in, throw the snake back in, totally sanitary, totally clean. The animal will not come into contact with anything that will make them sick from my doing. Now, however, the substrate might have something on that, and that is a topic from a different time, so I won't go into that. But, so sanitation-wise, snake racks, bins, 100% better than any glass terrarium I've ever seen. I don't know about you guys, but if you guys disagree with me, that's what the comment section is for. Speaking of that, this is the end of the video. I think that I've presented my case well enough. I never script any of my stuff, and I'm trying to get into that mainly just because I think it would make a better video. I think it would make a more flowing video, and I'm sorry if this video hasn't flown? Sorry if this video hasn't flowed, not flown. It's not, it's not taking flight or anything. I hope it does take flight. Anyways, because I get off on tangents very easily, especially when I'm talking about something I'm passionate about. I'm super passionate about reptiles. I'm super passionate about actually animals in general. I think animals are amazing. But I'm trying to script it. But you know, the old showbiz thing, never work with kids or animals. And I think that's because the script will often come into showbiz. And with reptiles, with the reptiles we work with, the snakes and the lizards and stuff like that, sometimes the script isn't good because, you know, things can happen at any point in time, and it might make a better video if it happens. And that's the main reason I haven't been scripting it. But if I ever do any more of these talking videos ever again, I'm gonna probably script them. I tried to script this one. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get in front of the camera today because I have put this off for forever. I'm just gonna get in front of the camera and I'm gonna talk. So I'm sorry if I've gone off on too many tangents, but at the end of the day, it is my video. If you don't like it, there's a dislike button. If you like it, there's a like button. Leave a like. Did I ever talk about likes? Favorite, subscribe, comment. Actually, I am gonna encourage you guys to comment with your opinions on keeping snakes in tubs, and is it ethical or is it inhumane? Because I think that is a very big thing for the hobby to talk about. The industry, actually, not just the hobby, but the entire industry of the pet trade, of the reptile trade, is a big thing to talk about because that is a big issue, especially in the public's eye. They see we keep our animals in little tiny plastic things. It's not little tiny, but they see it as little tiny plastic tubs that we just toss our animals into and forget about for, you know, a year, and then come back to and throw it a rat and forget about it for another 8 months or whatever. And that's just not true, okay? So I would like you to comment down below, see, you know, even if your opinion differs than mine, I'm gonna still probably reply to you. I'm still gonna, you know, talk to you about it and see what I could do better in a next video, probably on this subject, to convince other people otherwise of why I don't think that an aquarium is the best way to go for a lot of species of snakes. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Marcus Dell'Olio from Mad Exotics. I hope you have a great day.